2, 1. We're live. We're here on a Wednesday.
Hey, we're here on a Wednesday, a wacky, wild Wednesday. It's December 3rd,
Bro,
third day of December.
I
What
saw,
have we been doing this month?
dude, I was on TikTok earlier just, doom scrolling, right? And all I see, the Dodgers posted 1 month ago, we won our second straight World. And I'm like, it's already been a month?
It has. It has. And it's been a wild month because we had Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We had, you know, Thanksgiving and Black Friday
And Cyber
and
Monday and more
yeah,
Thanksgiving, depending upon
crazy.
how much leftovers you had, you probably had Thanksgiving all week.
Oh yeah. Well, welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. I am Mr. Leftovers, Bobby Kaboose. As always, through that screen, through that camera, in that hideous ass room is Lawson underscore. What's going on, underscore? How are you doing today?
Bro, it was a completely. I know Wednesday we don't normally talk about sports for the most part, but I don't know. But did you see the stuff with the Clippers and Chris Paul last night?
No. I thought we don't pay attention to basketball until Christmas.
Well, it's funny because this is Chris Paul's last year, and I say this because it was rumored to be his last year when he re-signed with the Clippers, or when he signed with the Clippers, and now, like 2 weeks ago, he announced that, okay, this is my last year. So, when he was in Charlotte, to get a standing ovation, all that jazz, it's like a retirement tour thing. Well, they just sent his ass home last night, and on Instagram, he posted on his Instagram story something along the lines of, "I just found out they sent me home with a peace sign."
What do you mean sent home? Like released him?
Yeah, they sent him home to their parting ways, and they're gonna help him in his next NBA, whatever's left of the season. I'm like, damn, dude. And they just tweeted out like a highlight clip of him like 2 days ago about how, oh, he's gonna retire a Clipper and retire home. And a lot of people are like, damn, they really meant that. He's gonna retire at home. And I'm like,
I mean, wouldn't his home be New Orleans?
hey, yes, but if for the modern NBA and stuff like that, when you close your eyes, most people would think of Chris Paul as a Clipper. Because that's where they had the most team success. Now you could argue, oh well, team success. When he was in Phoenix, they made the finals. But when I close my eyes, I don't think of Chris Paul as a Sun legend.
So you don't think of him as a Hornet, a Pelican,
I think of him as a Clipper before a Pelican.
a Clipper, a Rocket, a Sun. What other teams has he been on? Who gives a shit?
A Thunder.
A Thunder. Yeah. Come on, man. You can't at this point he's a journeyman and he has no home.
Yeah.
Chris Paul. Maybe one of the better players to ever not win a championship.
100%.
Maybe that trade went through to the Lakers. He could have, added a ring to the pinky or something. But anyway,
Yeah.
I did not see that. Dude, I don't know, man. There's something about Chris Paul that I don't like. He just seems like he might be a dickhead off the court. But I don't know him personally, but
Yeah.
he just seems he comes across like that way. But whatever.
Mm.
He never played for the Pistons, so I don't give a fuck. And he never won anything. So his best years were in the Hornets, in my opinion, with David West.
Yeah. Their two-man game was crazy, especially picking and popping all that jazz. Yeah, and they gave those dominant Spurs teams hell a couple times.
Yeah. Speaking of like assholes off the court, dude, so I've been dashing for the holidays, right? I
Mm-hmm.
consider myself one of Santa's reindeer, because I am dashing, and you can call me, Dasher Caboose. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
So I've been out and about, man. I've been seeing, a lot of things since I've been out and about. And this past week, I was at a Panera. Panera. Do they have Panera down there? Is
Yeah.
Panera Nation one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never had it, but I've heard solid things like it's good. It's
I've had
alright.
I've had a grilled cheese and a soup from there once,
Yeah, it's
and it
what
was
I
pretty
heard.
good.
That it's straight.
So, I go in there to pick up this order and I am not one to be like, look at that fat ass over there, or anything like, unless you have it coming, like unless you're an asshole or a dickhead, then I'm not gonna, I'm not the one to like body shame or whatever, whatever, whatever. But anyway, there was this ogre behind the counter and was very unpleasant. And so I'm standing there and they have the counter for the pickup,
Hmm.
and then they have a TV where it says like the progress of your order, right? So like if you're waiting for it, you can see kind of where you're in line, blah 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 blah. So there is another dasher or whatever company he's working for next to me, and he's waiting for his order, and he asks this ogre very politely. He's like, "Hey, do you have this and they were pretty busy, but they were, he was like, "Do you have an order for so and so?" And she like freaks out on him, and she's like, "There's a TV right there that says your progress." And he's like, "Okay, like, that's all you need to
Sorry,
say."
right?
So he goes over the TV. Well, the name that he said the order was ready. So he comes back to the counter and he's like, yeah, the TV said this name is ready. Like, is it ready? Or, and she's like, I'm wrapping it up. And she's slamming shit. She's yelling at her coworkers. I'm like, Jesus Christ, lady. Like, you know, I trust me. I've been in positions and jobs that I fucking hated, and that like I didn't want to even get out of bed, but like to go to work. But once I'm there, and like one, I may be disgruntled about the work that I had to do, the lack of ethic or not ethic, but effort that my coworkers put in.
Uh huh.
I might be mad at a dickhead customer, but it's never like for me, unless you talk to me rudely as a customer, I'm gonna be polite to you. It could
Right.
be I try to leave my baggage at the door, and like at least try to get through the day. And that customer who's asking for their food or asking what aisle this is in or that is in or whatever the case, they're 9 times out of 10, they are not the reason why I'm pissed off.
Right.
In my previous employment, when I'm talking to assholes over the phone, yes, that's a different story, and I do get, would get little snippy sometimes with them, but
Hmm.
overall, after I hang up the phone, I'm like, fuck that guy, whatever. But I'm not gonna say that usually to your face. Um, so I wanted to bring this up because,
Hmm.
you know, it's happening more and more the more I'm out and I witness this stuff. And I was going to ask you, like, have you ever had like super horrible service or you witnessed something similar to this where like someone is just I don't know if they just woke up on the wrong side of the bed, they hate their job, they hate their life or what, but they take it out on somebody that's literally like, hey, I was just wondering the status of my order. Because the same shit happened to me because I'm waiting for my order. And, again, after I heard her say the computer screens the order, well, I kept seeing people below me getting their food. And I'm like, okay,
Right.
obviously that's not the order that they're working on. And so even when I got back to the car, sometimes the girlfriend comes dashing with me.
Hmm.
And she's like, wow, that took a while. I was like, yeah. And I actually, like, usually I'll message the people, like, hey, waiting for your order. I had to message this person twice just so they knew, like, I was still waiting
Just
for
to
their
keep them
order because,
updated.
yeah, because Shrek behind the counter was having a bad day. So, I just want to put up this question to you if
Yeah.
you have any, stories or things that you can share about just some horrible service.
Dude, when it comes to service and things like that, I've been grateful because I've heard a lot of stories of whether it be workers, employees, XYZ, just being flat out dicks. I can't think of
Hmm.
any off the top of my head that just made me, that would spike in my memory because I'm always super not gracious, but example, one of my friends actually kind of got onto me because every time like a waiter or waitress would come over, oh, do you need a refill on your drink? How's everything? So I'm one of those overly No, I'm okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. All that jazz. To
Yeah.
where one of my friends, after we got done having dinner, he was like, "Bro, if you would have said yes, ma'am, I'm okay. Thank you so much one more time, I was gonna beat the fuck. Just I'm just
Right.
overly
Right.
because it is. Even if they as in waiter or waitress, if they do, let's say 20, 30 tables a day, they
Hmm.
could have five dickheads, but it just takes that one person, in my opinion, to be, overly doing it to kind of compensate for the dicks, in my
Right.
opinion. So that's why I always try and be overly, gracious when it comes to, someone who's, even if it's just, oh, they're just bringing me my food. Well,
Hmm.
they're also people too, and the majority of them, they've got, some of them got just shit going on. So I try and be overly nice, but it can really. I've heard, excuse me. One of my friends actually used to work at Dairy Queen, and he
Hmm.
said, "Dude, the amount of times where people would just be dicks over just the intercom." Which
Yeah.
actually led to, and I'm pretty sure I've told this story before. One time, my buddy actually started, like, he didn't start it, but he got into a fucking fist fight at work because he's
Yeah.
yeah, at Dairy Queen,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Are you fucking for real?" He said, "Dude," he said the right shit on the wrong day, and I'm just like, "Bro." I said, you lucky, your girl's mom is the manager, overseer, or whatever, because they would have fired your ass. And he was like,
This,
yeah, dude,
this
but
minimum wage job ain't worth getting your ass beat.
dude, I'm like, are you fucking really? I like my first thing was I thought the customer was always right. He said, "Nah, fuck that guy," and I was like, well, especially when you treat fast food workers like fucking dickheads. It's like, okay, dude. So I now it changes my perception as to how you treat fast food or food service people,
Hmm.
because for the most part, they're not even making your food.
Right.
They're just getting it and bringing it to you.
Right.
And like, I've talked to people in the past where they're like, oh, because of the tipping culture, some people they're 20%. I will do 20% every single time. Some people, it varies based on price XYZ.
Mhm.
um some people, right when they sit down, and I can't stand people like this. Oh, the faster I get my food, the bigger your tip will be. And I'm like, they can't even control how fast your fucking
Right.
food cooks. You dick.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, to go back to the original question, I haven't seen it, but I've heard countless stories of just people being rude.
So we've gotten to the point where like, and the girlfriend is completely on board with this. When we get exceptional service, we will ask for a manager and like make sure like the waiter or waitress gets their flowers.
Hmm.
And we're like, hey, actually last time we did this was about a month ago. We were at Red Robin. And the guy was actually it was his first day
That's
on the
awesome.
floor by himself. And dude, not like he wasn't pushy. Like I hate when the waiters come like every like 30 seconds and like
Yeah.
ask you like, dude, we're good. Like get away from me. He was checking us up on us probably every 5 to 7 minutes,
About.
refilling our
Hmm.
drinks, like asking us and like and he the cool thing is and like I almost wanted to be like, yo bro, we've been here before. He acted like we were brand new, never been to a Red Robin. He's like, just to let you know, the fries are endless. My girl, she ordered one of those freckled lemonade things.
Hmm.
He's like, those are endless. Like, we have this and this and this, and like I almost to a point wanted to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. We already know. But it like, on the other hand, I'm like, dude, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, he's
So
being
like,
he's being not over the top, but
covering
he's
all bases.
exactly, bingo.
Yeah, so we will do that, and then we will tip like exceptionally higher, close to 50%, if not more, on some of these people that
Mm.
that do a great job. But the worst service that I've ever had, we it was actually for the Saints Lions playoff game. I think it was like 2012-ish,
Hmm.
somewhere in there. So we go to this bar that we normally don't go to. There was a group of us, and I had gotten there. I was probably the last one to arrive right before game time, and my friends were like, "Dude, like, just I hope you have your patient pants on today. Not like being a patient, but being patient.
Yeah.
Um, have your patient's pants on, because this waitress is borderline like retarded." And I'm like, and meaning stupid, right? So this wait, I was like, okay, obviously, like, I was like, how bad can she be, right?
Right.
Dude, let me tell you this.
Let me tell
So
you.
this was back in my beer drinking days. So, I would typically do like the light beers, whatever was on special. Like at one point I was drinking a lot of Miller Lite. At one point I was drinking Coors Light when it was on special. At some point I was drinking Bud Light. Sometimes I'll throw in a Heineken, whatever. Usually it was whatever the drink on special was, because I was a broke, probably 25-year-old or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I there's a big sign on the wall that says, Miller Lite, tall Miller Lights, say like 325. I'm like, okay, I will, or somewhere, like, whatever the special was, I don't know, $3. Um, so I was like, okay. So the waitress comes by, and I go, hey, do you have any drink specials? And she
Yeah.
goes, because I just want to know if Miller Lite's the only thing on special, or if I can order something else. And she goes, no, we don't have any specials at all. And I'm like, well, that sign right there says it's like $3 Miller Lights. And she's like, oh yeah, we do have that. And I'm like, okay. I'm
Mm.
like, I'll take a Miller Lite and a menu, please. So she turns around and like takes like two steps, and she comes back and she's like, what did you want again? I was like, one of those Miller Lights, that are on special right there, right?
Uh-huh.
She's like, oh, you know, dude, she gets all the way to the drink station and comes back, and she's like, one more time, what? I'm like, the fucking only thing you have on special that's on that fucking sign right there, I will take one of those.
If
Like,
you
so I'm not like,
if you forget, it's right there on the wall.
I'm like, it's right there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, already, like, my friends are like kind of like giggling and shit. They're like, I told you. So yeah, finally get my Miller Lite. We're drinking and whatever, and watching the game. So I decide to order food, and so anyone that knows me, fucking read my last Thanksgiving article. I am a picky eater. So like when I order stuff, like sometimes like a Philly cheesesteak, my girlfriend always makes fun of me because a Philly cheesesteak, I will literally like order it with like cheese and meat and whatever sauce they put on it. Like I like whether it's mayo or
No
chipotle.
onions, no banana peppers, no none of that.
No,
Right.
not no. So I order a nacho, right, at this place, and like again, usually I have to subtract some stuff. So
I
I
want
hate.
hold on, I want chips, meat, and cheese. That's it.
Yeah, for a nacho, I'm a little bit more lenient because
Uh
I don't like tomatoes, but on tomatoes on a nacho, I normally don't taste them, so that's okay. Black
uh
olives are okay. I won't eat black olives or tomatoes on anything else. Oh, again, I'm weird. And same with jalapenos. I'll put them on a nacho, but like anything else, I don't want a jalapeno on, right?
okay.
So I order nacho. I believe I get it like minus onion and minus something else, and she writes it down, and by the time my nacho comes out,
Yeah.
and I had to ask multiple times, like, is my nacho coming out? Like, it shouldn't take this long. you know I think she forgot to put it in. By the time I got it, this
Uh
thing was mounded with onions, and I'm like, dude, like, so I told her, I was like, I said no onions on this, and like it was like, dude, it was like someone was like, oh yeah, you want onions, fuck you, and I put the whole fucking tin on it. And I'm like, and she goes, oh, I thought you said extra onions, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I go, no, need no onions. So she takes it back, brings it back like another half hour later. So it's like an hour since I ordered my fucking food.
right.
So yeah, we're like basically like everything that we are ordering, like she either has to we either have to repeat ourselves. I'm like, and she's not writing any of this down. Like I'm like, dude, you are not a good waitress. Like you might want to.
You need to write this down.
Yeah. Yes. So we actually like another waitress that was walking by. We actually stopped her and was like, "Hey, like, is this chick even qualified to be a waitress here?" And she goes, "Not really. That's the owner's girlfriend." And I was like,
Oh,
"Oh, great.
nice. Makes sense. Makes
Yeah."
fucking perfect sense.
So dude, so we uh we asked for our bill at the end of the night, and there's like 10 of us, right?
Yeah.
And she doesn't separate anything. She puts it all on one tab, and we're like, what is like we can't pay it like this. You have to separate them. And then we see like six shots on our tab that no one
You're
ordered.
like, who's ordering?
And so we asked her, we're like, hey, there's like six. What were they? They were the fucking Irish car bombs. Do you know what an
Okay.
Irish car bomb is?
Yeah.
So you have the Guinness and you take the Baileys and you fucking dump it in and you
Hmm.
chug it before it fucking overflows.
Yeah.
There's like six of them on our bill, and we're like, hey, these shots, no one ordered these. And she goes, oh, I know. She's like, the people that sat here before you ordered them and didn't pay for them. And we're like,
Are you out of your fucking mind?
so we're like, so you just put it on our bill? Like, what the fuck? And so we're like, obviously, we're not paying for these, so take them off our bill. So she takes them off our bill, like all of the like shit, like as far as how many beers or how many drinks people order are like way off. Like everything's just like whatever. So we
17
all,
Miller Lights on there.
yeah, and we're like, okay, whatever. So,
Mm.
um, we had like probably like total probably $150 bill or something. Dude, we did not tip $1 on it. Like we were like, fuck this. Like I think whoever like paid actually asked for change, and like it was like 60 cents. And like they took the 60 cents because they didn't even want to leave her 60 cents tip. And the bar that I'm referring to is very close to the house.
Yeah.
Still where I live. I haven't been back since.
That's amazing. I remember one time one of my mom's friends got fired. The story was, years ago. She was she was a waitress at whatever restaurant, right? And she said there was this really old lady, so she tried to be, super nice and all that jazz. And she
Hmm.
said when she paid and got up to leave, she came back to, get change or receipt and all that, get, tip, whatever. She said there was 1 penny on the table. She said I picked it up and threw it at her, and it hit her in the back of the head, and I got fired. I'm like, I would have been so. She
Oh,
was like,
yeah,
I tried to be overly nice because she was kind of older, and so when I came
yeah.
back and I saw 1 penny, I was like, that fucking bitch. So I picked it up and just threw the penny at her.
I got a buddy who was part of our crew as far as going up to the bar. He's a regular up there as well, and that's how I met him. But
Yeah.
he dude, so he's a cook. And he's a phenomenal cook. Um, but he has the worst luck on going to any like fast food restaurant. I mean, dude, it's like comical now because like we're like, okay, what did Mike tell us about his late most recent or latest fast food experience?
Uh huh.
And he'll be like, man, he's like, I went to, Little Caesars and got a hot and ready. I opened it up, when I got in the car, and the shit, is half burnt, and all the pepperonis are on one side and shit. And he's like, what the fuck is this? So he's like, you know what I did? I went right back in there. I opened it up. I go, you serve this to people? And he just shoved it across the fucking counter. And I'm like, dude, that's not how you handle this. And
Wait,
he's
he
like,
did that?
yes. He's like, I'm just so sick of people fucking up my food all the time. And I go, dude, I understand that, but like that versus like your Taco Bell instance when you go through the drive-through, they fuck up all your food, then you circle around and you go on the mic or whatever, the ordering
Yeah.
screen, and you're like, you fucked up my order, and you throw your food back at the fucking menu. That has nothing to do with the Little Caesars. Like you're just having bad luck after bad luck, and like, but like he's got a little bit of an anger issues, and like, dude, it seems like every time he goes
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, they fuck up something. We were out one night, me and Melvin Troy, man, 64-bit Legends, go check us out. We were out one night, and this was right around COVID time. It might have been like the year before, so about 5, 6 years ago. We're out at the bar, and we wanted to get something to eat after, right? So there's not many options at like 2 in the morning. So we go to McDonald's, and I order like a 20-piece nugget meal or whatever. He orders a Big Mac. We get back to the house, and if sometimes I'll look in the bag and make sure the items are there,
Yeah.
whatever. Most of the time I don't. But we get back to the house, pull out our food. I have nuggets. I open up the nugget box again. 20-piece nugget ordered. I open it up and there's about 8 nuggets in there, and I'm like, the fuck, dude? Like, for real? Like, I got 8 nuggets, and it's like 2:30 in the morning. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go back up there. I'm
Right.
like, I guess I just got gypped. Well, I thought mine was bad. Melvin fucking opens up his Big Mac. Dude, you got what's the song go? You got two sesame seed buns, you got lettuce, tomato, um a middle bun, some mac sauce, but guess what? He had no meat. So it was just 3 pieces of bread with fucking toppings. And he's like, "What the fuck, dude?" He's like, "At least you got 8 nuggets. What am I supposed to do with a bunch of bread?"
You better slide me 2 nuggets so I can put on this bit.
Yeah, right.
That's
So,
amazing.
and so I tell this story to my friend Meg, who's also a Lions season ticket holder. She's
Mm-hmm.
a bar buddy as well, and she's like, okay, she's like, I'm not that type of person, but like, I can kind of one up this, and I'm like,
Oh
oh great,
God.
I would love to hear it, right? And
Right.
she's like, I was at the bar, when I go to McDonald's, she's like, I just like their hamburgers or their cheeseburgers, like simple. She's like, I was craving, I forget whether it's a hamburger or cheeseburger. I'm just going with cheeseburger because it has cheese on it. So she's like, I just wanted the two cheeseburger meal and a small fry.
Some
And like,
light.
yes, I was just craving it. So she orders the shit.
Mm.
She looks in the bag. She's like, okay, that's kind of weird. They gave me 2 boxes, 2 nugget boxes, but she's like, maybe they ran out of the paper to
Right.
wrap it. No problem. I'll take it home. Whatever. She's like, even if it's nuggets, whatever. I
It's
just
not a
need
big
something.
deal.
Right. So she gets home,
Mm-hmm.
takes the stuff out. She opens the box. Guess what's in it?
One hamburger patty.
Nope.
A goop of mac sauce.
Nope. No nuggets. No burger. She got 2 chocolate chip cookies. One in each box, and she's like, "What the fuck is?" Like, you got me beat.
That's fucking
You
insane.
got
I,
me
rem-
beat.
I remember this one time, me and my buddy Trey, we were down by where my pops lives. It's like an hour away. It's in a little bit past Atlanta, right? And there's one McDonald's, like right by his house. And after we were hanging out there, we swung by the McDonald's, right? And it's probably like 8 o'clock, and so we're in line. And we're just chilling, talking shit, and then after we look, it's 8:20. Line hasn't moved at all. And we're like, we notice. I'm like, yo, what? And we were like, should we just fucking leave? And me being like, we fucking, there's 8 cars behind us. There's not enough room to make an 8-point turn to get out.
Mhm.
So fuck it, we're in line now. And so we get all the way to the fucking window after doing our orders. And once again, our orders weren't anything crazy. It was like a couple McDoubles, couple McChickens, like nothing super like over the top. And
Yeah.
so we're just sitting there chilling by the first window. Haven't even paid yet. Haven't even fucking paid yet. We're sitting there chilling, minding our own business, not doing nothing. No one's at the window. And we're like, okay, this is kind of fucking weird. We look down, 9 o'clock, and we're just like, we've been in line for a total of like an hour, and we're just chilling, minding our own business, and we're just like, dude, what the fuck is going on? There's nobody. Someone took our order. No one's gonna take the card. And so someone fucking walks to the window, slides it, acts maybe someone called him, but then just immediately was like, huh? And just turned and walked away after sliding the window open. And we're like, I look at him, he looks at me, I'm like, are we dead
Fish
ass?
got away. The fish got away.
Like, we haven't even given the card yet. And so my buddy, a little bit of anger issue, takes out his fucking phone, and it's like 9:15, so we've been in here like a fucking hour, and just starts recording. The time's like, we've been here an hour, and then fucking turns and puts it on the window where nobody is. Lo and behold, 18 people come out the woodworks. Are y'all taking pictures? He's like, we've been here for an hour. And, well, yeah, I want to say it was like 4 or 5 different people. They all walk up. Are y'all taking pictures, video? And we're like, dude, we've been here an hour.
Yeah.
And she was like, have y'all paid? Ain't nobody been here to take the card. What do you mean that we paid? And so I should. What we should have done. We should have said, can we just get our fucking... I've waited an hour. I'm not paying for it. I don't care how cheap it is. It's nothing crazy. I don't give a damn. But we fucking paid. We pulled up. We fucking got our food. We pulled up. I was like, I appreciate you pulling your phone out and getting our shit spat in. Appreciate it. But I will say one thing. For as simple as like a McDouble and McChicken is, they were the best fucking McDoubles and McChickens I've ever had.
Because of that spit, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Put it over the edge.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man, it's funny because sometimes you just get that like it was everyone else still waiting in the line too.
Dude, yes, there was like 18 not literal 18, but there were still like 5 or 6 cars behind us.
I feel like Burger Kings are the worst, man. Burger Kings, I feel like, hire the slowest, probably, slowest physical people and slowest mentally people. Like it's just like, dude, like every Burger King I go to is slow as fuck, and I'm like, dude, like, why does it take forever?
Whopper me up real quick so I can get out.
Unless you're making this fucking fresh every fucking time I come through here.
Which is Burger King. You're not.
Oh my god, food. But
I'll continue. I was gonna say I got another story about one time before my buddy was a USPS driver. He worked at Little Caesars. And it was like the end of the day. And once again, if you've worked at a fast food or a restaurant thing, and in the downtown or whatever, you can really make some shit that's not on the menu that's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
And so he said it was him and one of his buddies who was white. And why does that matter? I'll circle back to it. And so fucking. They make like, I don't know if you partake in Little Caesars, but they got like some crazy stuff. They got like the crazy bread, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so fucking my buddy's friend made like some pepperoni, extra cheesy stuff, whatever. And when this customer walked in, he was like, what would you like to have? And he's like, I'll take a couple hot and readies and whatever, like that cheesy bread that homeboy's making in the back. And he's like, hey, we'll give you some, but you leave it. Basically, we'll give you some, leave it, never come back. No, it's not on the menu. No one can know. And so fucking, he tries. He's like, yes, that's awesome. I'll have some of that too. Gets it, leaves. He said about a week, not even a week, maybe 2-3 days max. They're fucking working. They're not superintendent, but someone above them, like maybe regional manager, whatever, is in there, just checking stuff. Same dude comes in and is like, hey, let me get like 3 hot and readies and that crazy and that stuffed crazy cheesy bread, whatever. And then whoever was up front was like, that's we don't have any like pepperoni stuff, crazy bread, whatever. And he was like, no, the shit the white boy was making in the back, the other day. And they hear it and they're like, huh? And then in my buddy's mind, he's like, we told you not to come back. And he said literally not even at most a week, but I swear the story it was maybe like 2-3 days later. And then this other time when my buddy was, he had already planned on like leaving after being there however long, maybe a couple years, if that. It's closing, and this I'm gonna use his words. This bum walks in, right, and he's just, dude, I need something hot, ready, and fast to feed my family because they won't shut the hell up. And so he said he just looked bummy, so he walked up and was like, hey, can I get a hot and ready? And my buddy was closing, and it was just him. He said, dude, I will give you everything in the back that's already pre-made if you just do not come back. Because I think he asked for, like, there were however many pizzas he wanted, they had like just a couple less. And my buddy was like, in his mind, he's like, it's my last day. I'm not cooking 2-3 extra. He's like, I will give you every cheesy bread, pizza I will give you everything we have in the back. Just do not come back, because it was his last day. He was like, I'm not making it. No.
Did he just say that to every customer? Like, hey man, I'll give you this hot and ready, but don't come back here.
No.
Like every single person that comes in, he's like, don't come back. I don't want any more customers.
Dude, it was so funny because when he was telling the story, I was like, damn, you really you blessed the homie up crazy. He was like, dude, it was my last day. I was not making anything else. He said I probably gave him like $60-$70 worth of stuff for like a $10-$15 order. He was like, I'll give you everything we have left in the back. Just do not come back, because it was his last day. And he's like, I'm not cooking nothing else. I don't want to throw shit else away. I'm fucking done. It's my last day anyways. You can have it all.
So I was when I was like 18 or 19, I worked at a Dollar Tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one summer my buddy was working with me when he was home from college, and we would do stock in the morning. We'd work like, whether it was the holidays, we'd start at like midnight and stock until 8 in the morning, or we'd start at like 4 in the morning before the store opened. So we worked this with this guy. Honestly, he was probably my age now. He was probably in his mid to late 30s. Cool dude. And he worked 2 jobs. He worked at Dollar Tree, and then he while he was working at Dollar Tree, he had gotten a job at White Castle. So one day at Dollar Tree,
Mm-hmm.
it was funny, man. He put up like his whole shift. He was working on this one like wall of like scarves and mittens and clothing shit, whatever. And so he was working on it for like 5 or 6 hours. Store manager comes in. He was like super proud of it too. He's like, man, it looks great, blah blah blah. Store manager comes in. He goes up to him and he's like, Keith, this looks like shit. Take it all down. And like we started busting out laughing. Like he spent his whole work shift working on it, and he was so proud of it. And he was just like, "This looks like shit. What have you been doing?"
Hey, yo, Keith, take all that bullshit down.
So I'm not gonna say it was later that night, but it was in the same time period. So me and my buddy are hanging out at night, and we're drinking and shit, and we call White Castle.
Oh
And
no.
we call White Castle headquarters, by the way. And we're like, hey, we were at the store, and we gave him the city that the store of where Keith worked. And we're like, we just wanted to say that one of your employees saved my baby. And they're like, what? And we're like, yeah, we came into the store for lunch or dinner. I forget the story. And we were like, we ordered, we were eating as a family inside. And, when we left, I put the baby seat on top of the car and started to slowly drive away and forgot about him. And your employee, Keith, ran out and saved my baby's life. So we call White Castle headquarters, tell them this story and shit, and like hang up or whatever, get through it. Well, a couple days later, Keith comes up to us at Dollar Tree and he's like, hey, he's like, did you guys call White Castle? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, man, he's like, I just want to thank you. He's like, they gave me a raise, a bonus. I'm like the
Yo,
employee of the
it's
month.
amazing.
And we're like, yeah, man, that's awesome.
I, I'm gonna get my. I'm gonna get the number to one of my buddies, like fucking offices that he works at, and do that. Hey,
Yeah,
your USPS driver saved my baby.
yeah, and like he was like when the manager was telling me like he was like I didn't know what the fuck they were talking about and I just went with it. I'm like fuck yeah, dude.
That's amazing.
So yeah, he got like a little bit of a raise, a little bit of a bonus, and like some praise.
That's kind of
Just
like
just
how
for, just for a little white lie about some random non-existent baby.
that's that's kind of like I told this story probably once again months ago. When my mom decided to mess with me, and my buddy called my mom before school, and she told this entire white lie as to how I was up till like three, like I was up till 3 a.m. like taking strippers home, and like the
Hmm.
whole fucking school for like a month and a half was like, all right, when Lawson gets out of school, he fucking goes, does his homework, then he's out partying with strippers and takes them home at 3 a.m. Dude, and once again, I was just dead lost. I was like, huh? And so yeah, for
And
like
how old were you?
I was like seventh grade, dude. So fucking
I was gonna say, is this like a junior high or is this like
dog.
high school? Like,
I
is this believable or?
I mean, it was around the time people started to get you know like their learners and stuff, and
Hmm.
so a lot of people were like, "Yo," like motherfuckers, random people would just walk the hallways, just dap me up and just give me their number, like, "Hey man, after school, bro, hit me up." And I'm like, I appreciate the dap, but I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with this. Like, I don't know who you
You know,
are,
welcome
dude.
to the gentleman's club.
Dude,
I don't
for
know how you've been, but you got your little student junior high ID on you.
dude, dead ass, cause I'll I'll never forget my mom's reaction when I got home. I got home that day. I was like, my immediate thought process, I said, "What'd you do?" She started, cause she'll normally, ask, as moms and parents, "Oh, how was your day at school?"
Mhm.
Blah blah this that.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
immediately walked. I walked to the door. It was like she was standing at the door. How was your day? So what'd you do at school today? And I'm like, "What did you do?" And she just busts out. She almost falls on the floor. She's laughing so hard. And
Dude,
so then she tells the backstory, and I'm like, "That's hilarious."
So my when I was in high school, my dad took
So
me and my
funny.
buddy to a Tigers game,
Hmm.
and we're driving down there, and the entire way down, he's telling my friend, he's like, yeah, he's like, um, I'm a Hall of Fame softball pitcher. I have a plaque
Your
in,
dad?
yes, he's
Yeah.
saying I have a plaque in, our city's Hall of Fame at the rec center. And like my buddy's just looking at me like, dude, what the fuck? My dad's like, he goes, yeah, I have the record for most strikeouts, most wins as a pitcher, all this shit, like just completely bullshitting him, dude. The entire way down to the Tigers game.
Yeah.
And like my buddy's just staring at me and like laughing, and I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. And so, but my dad he won't give up the gimmick, right? He's like fucking
He
saying it, blah blah
he
blah.
he swears to the bit.
Yes. And so we're like, yeah, 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 you're whatever, bullshit, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So we get to the game, we park, and he had like, he got the tickets from work, so he's got, excellent a parking pass that's excellent right by the field. So we walk into the stadium, dude. Not even 30 seconds past of where we get our tickets scanned, we start, as soon as we get into the concourse and we're like, we make like a left or whatever to our, towards our section,
Hmm.
some some dude comes up to my dad and goes, "It's great to see old ball players in the park these days." And my dad's like, "Thank you, I appreciate it," and shakes his hand.
Shut
And me
the
and my buddy,
fuck
dude,
up.
get the fuck out of here. Some just fucking random ass fucking dude, and like,
That's amazing.
like the fuck, dude.
One of
And then
good.
and then later my dad asked my buddy for a cigarette. So and my buddy was probably 15 at the time.
That's amazing. One of my boys. So when I was in Tampa for that week, right? My buddy Ben took me to the Lightning game, and they played the Caps.
Mhm.
Ovechkin's my favorite player. We just wanted to see, right, hang out. And my buddy used to work for the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was like their one of like
Mascot.
that'd have been awesome. It was he was I don't know what his exact position was, but it was like a hockey ambassador, like an ambassador of the game. Like he worked with he coached a lot of the he coached a lot of like the players' kids. He did a lot of off the ice stuff. He was really at
Was he?
the huh?
Was he an attorney that got a DUI?
No. What?
Oh, because that's what Gordon Bombay was before he took the District 9 to the fucking championship. So I was just, was
Yeah,
it
trying
some
to
kind of
connect the dots. Yeah, yeah,
community service?
yeah, yeah. And so when we showed up there maybe and not 40 minutes early before they started letting people in, and we're just hanging out, chilling, and he's looking at it, and he was like, uh, right before we even got to like where there was shit ton of people, was like, I'm probably gonna get stopped by a handful of people, and it was funny because when he was coaching, we call him Coach Ben, uh,
Hmm.
and he was like, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like X amount of kids, that we fucking that I coach and stuff like that. I was like, really? No, she was like, yeah, dude. And so, shit you not, they open the gates, we start walking in, bro gets fucking surrounded. And there's just like 8 families of kids that he coaches, and he's like dapping them up because once again he was just a coach and stuff like that, and he was kind of giving me a little bit of a behind the scenes thing because um, I guess hockey in Florida it's kind of like a rich person's sport because there's not a lot of hockey and stuff like that. And he was like, so
I think
I'll,
that's where, dude. That's because the equipment is so fucking expensive.
yeah, that's a good point. And so he was saying a lot of the kids that were like the posh silver golden spoon kids. He's like whenever they would try and pick on like their counterparts, he said I would always put them in there with the older kids so they'd beat the fuck out of them. And I'm like, that's amazing. But yeah, dude, it was super cool because we had really good seats. He was pointing out, oh, some of the players who's like, oh, that's like example, that's Ryan McDonough's wife. I coach their kids, and he was saying, oh, like he's got like a shit ton of players' numbers in his phone that are like on the TV and like moved around since he stopped working there, and was saying, okay, well, his kid's awesome, his kid's awesome. That bro comes from fucking money. That kid fucking blows. Just kind of going up and down. I was like, damn, shout out to Coach Ben.
Did he ever have his driver drive his limo onto a frozen lake?
No, but he did drive the Zamboni a couple times, and I was like, oh yeah, I was driving the Zamboni. He was like, it was chill after I got the hang of it. Well, that's awesome, dude.
Um, but yeah, yeah. I don't know what else is on this Wild Wednesday. We got tomorrow must win game for both teams, but I think it's more of a must win for the Lions.
Dude,
Um, and if I was a betting man, I think I would take the Dallas Cowboys +3.
well, I mean, it's a home game for Detroit, so yeah, it's so fun that this game could be really high scoring, which
Hmm.
I don't continue.
So no, I was going to
Yeah,
tell you how last time you had to stat correct me with the pass rushes or the pressures and the sacks. What I got wrong was Detroit is dead last in the time it takes them to pressure the quarterback. So they're essentially giving the quarterback the most time in the league and Dak is playing way too good to have that
dude,
happen.
he's on another
Um,
level right now.
so this is gonna be a tough game for Detroit, and it's almost a must win because their schedule doesn't get any easier with
No,
uh, playing the Bears, playing the Rams, the Cowboys, and
I'm
I don't know, but they have few tough games, 5 games left.
yeah, it's gonna be really because you could make a now granted it's a 3 game sample size, but like Dallas has been playing great the past 3 weeks since their bye,
Mhm.
and the explosion of their number one, number two, like it's funny talking to a Steelers fan who in retrospect it would have been great to keep George Pickens, huh? Well, George Pickens wouldn't have been doing
You
well.
guys you guys probably should have kept him.
Probably. The only thing
And
is, huh?
I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm not a football expert or anything, but he seems like a pretty good player.
right. He has more receiving yards this year than all of our receivers do on our team. But with that being said, I don't think he would be having the explosion that he is in Dallas. Because if you go to like your next gen stats and look at like his route tree, bro, it's all over the fucking field. And if you were to rewind time and look at George Pickens' route tree in Pittsburgh, it was sidelines and there's nothing going over the middle. It's just deep bombs and all that jazz. But yeah, for I think your guys, Detroit. I think the way they can win, because I can, whenever I enter like, oh, my watching experience, I try and close my eyes and I think, okay, what are likely scenarios? Are there plausible explanations for both teams winning? I think both teams have
Yeah.
the ability and firepower to win this game. I have
Hmm.
not been up to date with Amon-Ra's injury. Is he good, or he's still up in
Um,
the air?
I don't think he's gonna play. Um, I think they're expecting him not to play, but
Hmm.
for anyone who follows Detroit and knows the personality of Amon-Ra, the
He's gonna
dude is
want to,
fucking.
dude.
He's gonna want to play, but
Right.
uh, I'm looking for JMO to have a big game because without him, without Amon-Ra, without probably Khalif Raymond, without
Sam Laporta's out.
Laporta, yeah, it's Tom Kennedy, and he's not part of the presidential Kennedy family, so
Mhm.
not really sure what's going on here.
Yeah, but the one good thing that you can take advantage of is Dallas's defense is for it's funny because for the majority of the season they've been really bad, but these past 3 games they've been solid. They were, they beat the shit out of the Raiders, but who doesn't beat the shit out of the Raiders? Um,
Right.
I think that getting to the edge, and especially with a player of Jameer Gibbs, explosiveness, is going to be really vital due to the Kenny Clark and Quinn Williams pairing has been excellent and have really limited. Like example, I don't remember Philly having as much, if at all, success running the ball. I just checked. Yeah, they had 63 yards rushing for Philly.
Hmm. Yeah.
So in Kansas City, it was the Mahomes resurgence light show. So yeah, if you guys can dominate, the edge, and the big thing, and from a defensive player's perspective, this has to be an Aiden Hutchinson game,
Hmm.
because if he cannot get to the quarterback, and you leave Dak one on one with the two weapons that he has, and it's really funny because I've been extremely impressed with the job Brian Schottenheimer's done this year. I thought, it'd be rough in his first year, but that offense is great.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Detroit's defense can get enough stops or generate enough of a pass rush outside of Aiden Hutchinson to do so.
Well, so there's been a yesterday it was brought up on the radio that since Aiden Hutchinson, since October 29th is when he signed his big extension,
Hmm.
he's had 2.5 sacks. Um, he's kind of disappeared at times. He's also playing 93% of the snaps, which is ridiculous.
Right, he's
Uh,
tired.
so, you know, I'm not sure if Aiden. Don't get me wrong. Aiden Hutchinson is a good player. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if he's and up to a great player. I'm not sure if he's elite. I'm not sure if he's a Miles Garrett or a T.J. Watt. Um, I think that like the Lions have done him disservice by not getting him someone on the other end.
Hmm.
Because when you can focus on one player, you're gonna in the NFL, if you're getting double, triple teamed every time, you're gonna take that player out of the game.
Yeah.
So, um, that between that and not addressing the offensive line like they should have,
Hmm.
they went from being the most dominant offensive line in the league to probably bottom third. And Jared Goff, we know what Jared Goff is. He's an elite pocket passer, but when he doesn't have time or he has to move out of the pocket, it usually doesn't end well.
Hmm.
So, um, the way the crazy thing is how Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes built this team in the trenches to get to this level. It seems like they completely deserted that idea and they have to get back to that. And it almost seems like not that they took a year off for this year, but they thought we were a Super Bowl contender without improving our team at all.
Yeah.
So, like, our team obviously got worse from last year. We were 15-2 last year, now 7-5. Probably not going to make the playoffs. I still have hope, but they're going to have to win probably 4 of the last 5 games.
Hmm.
And, it's what got you to the dance in the first place. And then when you ignore it and you're like, no, we should be good.
I feel like
Frank Ragnow has been like, yeah, he's been borderline retired for the last like 3 years. Like
yeah.
he's been contemplating it every year. And like, so how you don't address that in the offseason and at least have someone, and then you rely on a rookie guard to move the center, and then Graham Glasgow is playing center, and
Yeah,
he
I
it's
like Tate. I
underperformed.
like Tate Rutledge out of Georgia, but he's not a center. He's guard.
No, yeah, exactly. So, we'll see, man. A lot of people are hitting the panic button. A lot of people are saying their Super Bowl window is done. I think this would have been the perfect year to go all in because, I mean, look at the NFL. We talked about this on Monday. As far as the top 5 favorites in to win the Super Bowl are struggling a lot.
Hmm.
You could say the Texans are going to be a tough team to out in the playoffs because of their defense.
It's
They have a chance.
ridiculous. Uh-huh.
Indy's coming back to earth. The Jags are now, I think, in the first place in the AFC South.
Hmm.
I mean, I think this is going to be a year where you don't necessarily see a Chiefs or an Eagles or even a Ravens, Bills, Lions. Um, in the Super Bowl, it could be like 49ers coming out of nowhere. It could be,
Sounds
you
like
know,
Lions, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my.
right. And the thing is like I said, like after being dominant the last 2 years almost for the Lions, if they would have just put a little bit of effort into the offseason, they could have almost easily maybe ran away with their first Super Bowl ever. But
Do you think
you know,
that?
we'll probably have to wait another 50 years.
Really quick. Do you think that having the success they did last year with the amount of injuries masqueraded a lot? Because with them not making any moves and losing both coordinators, it's like, oh, we'll be fine. We went 15-1 and we had 78 guys on IR. Well, it's like,
Yeah,
no, you still have to make
definitely.
improvements despite the success.
You know what I was thinking about this yesterday when they were talking about this on the radio.
Yeah.
They had or not all, but most of their injuries on defense,
Uh-huh.
but their offense was so uh, uh,
Oh,
efficient
yep.
and able to score at will because of their offensive line that they put more pressure on the opposing offenses because of their offense
Hmm.
than even having a capable defense to even put out there. So every time the offense took the field, the opposing offense, they had to score. They had that pressure to score because the Lions could score so easily
It's like the
and
Chiefs
put
in
up
the
so much points.
it's like the Chiefs from that
Yeah,
2018 to 2021 period where it's like, fuck, we got to get fucking if we don't hit 30 minimum, we
yeah.
lose.
Yep. But speaking of hitting 30 minimum, thank you for joining us here at the Legends Clubhouse on this wacky Wednesday.
Hmm.
We are live Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us on YouTube, on the New Leaf News YouTube channel. Go hit that subscribe button. Go check out our website. It's newleafnews.network/.com. Both of them take you to the same great site. We have daily content, whether it's talking about our, Lions and Steelers or Vikings or whoever sports related topics we have, entertainment, gaming, politics. Hey, well, no one likes seeing people get murdered, but if you like reading about it, we got that shit too. Um, go check us out over there. We're on 5 different platforms for social media, so go check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. at New Leaf News on all those platforms.
Mm-hmm.
I am at Bobby Caboose on Instagram and on X. That is at Lawson _1226. Hey, we're only 23 days away from the big day, baby. So get that. If you know, hopefully you did some Black Friday or Cyber Monday shopping to get Lawson some gifts for his birthday, not for Christmas, but for his birthday. Um, what else? Today is episode number 97. The best
97.
97 ever is Tracy Schroggins, defensive end for the late 90s Lions. Who's your favorite 97?
My favorite 97, probably Bruce Smith was dope.
Sweet, Bruce
I'm
Smith.
gonna.
Okay.
I was gonna say I was gonna go. I was gonna say Cam Hayward, but I'm gonna try and go. More not anti-Steeler, but not Steeler.
Yeah.
Preference.
Yeah, I could probably do that off the Lions. But anyway, um, shout out to my lovely, beautiful girlfriend. Our 2-year anniversary is today, so shout out to
Whoop.
her. I love you. And we will see you Friday if Lawson, if you want to take us out. I'm more than
Absolutely.
welcome to leave.
Absolutely. Well, once again, for New Leaf News and the Legends Clubhouse, I am Lawson Turner, and that right there, is Bobby Kaboose. We will see you beautiful people Friday afternoon at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, we hope you enjoy your Wednesday and Thursday. And once again, we'll be back Friday afternoon. Until next time, we hope you guys enjoy these next 2 days, and peace.